What's happening 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, all the times we can get it, we gonna get it how it gets got. Once again, we in the pit, man. It's your boy Jay Keys again. We locked in with Keys, man, and as always, I keep a special guest in the building with me. And so with the uncertainties, let's just get into it. So with the uncertainties of the world today, this is like this. People find a lot of different things to cling on and to hold on to, and sometimes hope. They're looking for hope. They're looking for that next level. And so I think I'm dealing with a guy right now who is dealing in the region of hope when it comes to, and I don't want to put too much on it as far as like organized religion, but again, Myron Pierce, ladies and gentlemen, whether you want to call him preacher, pastor, minister, evangelist, man of God, if you will. Let me start off by saying I enjoy your work. I've I reached out and kind of been seeing where you're at and your story and where you've come from and what you've built for you, not just yourself, but the ones that are around you, and not even just your immediate family, but then you branch it out into the people. It's such a wonderful experience. So let's just talk about that. Let's just talk about Myron the man. Let's just talk about it, man. How you doing?
You know what? I'm glad you said Myron the man, because I think a lot of times, bro, it's easy when whatever title you put on a man, right? It's easy to see the problem with a title is that oftentimes we detach humanity from it and we elevate people to a pedestal that leaves them flawless.
Absolutely.
And then when you see imperfection, it becomes a reason for why you're not exploring more opportunities for hope.
I don't go to church because even the preacher, he acting, absolutely.
At the end of the day, it's between you and God, man.
Absolutely.
You feel me? It's between you and God, man. So, Myron.
Okay, absolutely. But now, see, so finding your own spiritual experience, let's talk about it. I mean, because it didn't start this way.
No, not at all. So the streets raised me, right? And so, like, the only time I went to church was when we was burying the homie, right? And those
the typical story.
The typical story, right? Yeah. Like, you go on somebody dying where we from, and but then in and out of jail, there are those, you got chaplains and you got cats that's, hip to the truth. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So absolutely. I was the cat in the back, trying to reconcile what I was experiencing and what I was hearing, because the distance was so far.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is it's easy. I've seen it. I see it when folks fall up in our church gathering. And like me, they sitting in the back and they hearing some truth that could set them free. But that truth hasn't hit their reality, because they either dealing with mama who on crack cocaine, in my case, daddy who on heroin, in my case, daddy who in and out the penitentiary, in my case. And the question I'm asking is if God loves me.
So that's something really that was kind of a driving factor with, it seems like it's the thing that either pushed you away, but then at the same time found a way to push you back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to reconcile if God was really good. And I think everybody's asking that. At the end of the day, we may not communicate it like that, but I think people are asking if God is good, because we live in such an evil world.
Oh, well, absolutely. I mean, look around you. I mean, how do you help? Recent events. It's for some, it's how do you explain these children being murdered?
Right.
These innocent children. How do you explain that? As a man of God, let me ask you now, how do you explain something like that to somebody who maybe isn't in tune like that and just says, look, man, you talking about God, man. I'm looking at these kids right here that didn't do nothing but go to school that day, man. Yeah. How you explain that?
It's a good question, bro. I think for the most part, people want empathy over explanation. Because we really the closest thing to God to people. Right? Okay. The reality is, if we're going to see God, we got to see him in us. That's why Paul talks about we're epistles. Paul, in our language, Paul would say, y'all mixtape, listened to by everybody. You feel me? Okay. And so, like, a lot of times I think the questions people are asking as far as explanation is in the process of their grief.
Okay. So grief, what you would say then, has a lot to do with it. That is,
Actually, in which I always like to say, grief speaks a different language.
oh yeah, absolutely. My dad always talked about it. But
did he?
Absolutely. That's I mean, that's why I've grown accustomed to being so comfortable with death. And as creepy as some people might find that to be, I accept and understand exactly what it is. I understand the transition. I understand the fullness of it. You know, I watched him take his last breath. We sat there with him and we talked him through it, and we walked there, and it was the most peaceful thing I've ever seen.
You know, that happened to me with my dad.
Yeah?
In 2019, before COVID really jumped off the porch.
2019
He had all the symptoms December.
Damn, my dad died in Easter of 2019. Hey, we having a real life dope experience. I just want to play every single camera in here. We having a real life connection right there. Real spit, bro.
And I watched him take his last breath at like 2-some in the morning.
Wow. Yep, Easter morning, my pops.
Wow.
Yeah, Easter morning.
You know, although my dad wasn't a part of my life, the last few years we really grew closer and had more conversations about life and spirituality. And like one of the things that he was always adamant about was man, I'm sorry I wasn't there.
So you found a way to find this retribution, this reconnection, even after all of that. That's dope. Okay.
It was beautiful, and because that happened, even though we lost a lot of years, the loss when he passed on was still the same. As if he was there the whole time.
The whole time. Wow. Now that's an amazing experience, I would think, to have. My dad was there. And my dad was a part of a lot of the young men that were a part of my life. He made sure that he was a part of their lives as well. And so to know that you can experience that same hurt, that same grief, that same love, like it doesn't change. Like love is such a transcending factor. I think that's so dope, man. Like if you can stay love-centered, like we hear it so much. All the philosophies talk about it.
Right.
If you can just lead with love, you cool. Now, is that, I mean, how do you lead? Because, like I said, I know you've had a somewhat unsavory background.
Right.
That is, that you've been fortunate enough to have, because you said that pulled you back into where you're at now. Now, I got to get it straight. So, you're a pastor?
I do pastor a church that we started, that we jumped off the porch with 5 years ago. But that's been my journey since I got out the penitentiary.
Absolutely.
Places like Colorado to start churches, places like here in Omaha.
Nice. Okay.
And helped other people do the same thing. But,
nice.
But when I found, so I got my call when I got arrested that second time. So I'm facing.
What year was this?
This was, I got arrested for the second time, March 21st, 2002 at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Talk about it.
It's a crazy story, bro. It is crazy. When I say, how do I got all these homies who done did a lot of dirt, and it's like I find myself in this same situation, bro. And it's like I tell people all the time, man, God called me that night, G.
Yeah.
When I say he called me, we left the scene. I'm trying to the birds in the air. There's police cars everywhere. I'm trying to put that thing away, trying to hide it, and you know, and I'm like, I got to get out of here. And I go to this lady house. I knock on the door. Do. Oh, white lady come to the door. I'm like, ma'am, like I need a ride. My car broke down, lying through my teeth. So I called a jidney stand, G.
Yeah. Okay.
The lady like North Side.
Okay. Like, North Side Delirious.
Yeah. She like called back at 30 minutes. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Ooh. So I hang up the phone. I'm trying to look for the next person. And I run into this white dude getting out of his car, and I said, excuse me, sir, man, can I get a ride, bro? I just need a ride. And he's like, sorry, sir, I'm an off-duty police officer.
Golly.
Bro, when I tell you God called me, like, how do you...
Where's all my sounds at?
How did you run into him?
Come on, man.
Midnight, dog.
Golly, what?
And that's how I got caught.
Wow.
That's how I got caught.
It's like, oh, excuse me, sir. Wait, come here. What's your name? What's your name? Come here.
Get on the ground, sir.
Oh, wait.
You know, and so I bring that up to say that that's how I discovered my call.
Yeah.
I finally hit rock bottom. It took me down to to the police department, and I had an asthma attack on the way. It was just all bad. And I get to Bedrock. We call it Bedrock.
Yeah.
You know Bedrock.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had this, they take me out of Bedrock eventually, put me, I went into this little cell before I went into Bedrock. And one of the things I did is I called one of my girlfriends.
Of course.
And then I called my grandmama.
Okay,
And then I fell on my knees and I said, God, man, I don't know if you're real. I don't know if this thing real, but God, if you change me, I'll serve you for the rest of my life. That began my journey, bro.
Wow.
That's how it all started.
Simple as that, huh?
That's it.
Huh.
And then people think you got to go to a building. You got to listen to a certain pastor who can preach the house down. It's really heart to heart, man. Regardless of where you at.
It's just meeting people where they're at. Then
that's it. Religion always says this. You got to fix everything about your life before you can even have a conversation with God.
Golly, that don't sound right.
You gotta dress right. You gotta act right. You gotta clean up. You gotta remove your language. You gotta do all of that. And that's not the Jesus that I follow. If it did, how in the world would he select a dude like Judas? He was a rat, bro.
Yeah, hey, plain and simple. Hey. In today's terms, that's how they. In today's terms, let's talk about it. He said Judas was a rat, bro. You know what I mean? He told on his homie, regardless of how history wants to place it, whether they, because I've heard a lot of different theories, and I'm not a theologian. But I've heard the different theories about Judas and what he, what he was really doing, or if him and Jesus really was just like, look, man, you gotta take this fall from me, dog. I need you to play your part. I need you to take this fall and tell on me, dog. That's the only way this is gonna go through. It ain't gonna go through if you don't tell on me. Like, dog, I don't want to tell on you, dog. Now, I've heard that theory, too.
That's a heck of a theory, huh?
I've heard that Judas was actually in on it, and that he, he took the fall for the whole thing. He was just like, you know what, hey, Jesus right there. Because he knew that it wouldn't, I don't know. But, who's to say? But I guess, in essence, really, it's really about, like, really getting back to what you said, there was a personal experience that you had. There was something that you had as a one-on-one that changed your life. And I think to me, that's the biggest thing that people really want to take out of it. They want to say, you're right, I don't have to always go to church, You go if you feel like it. Yeah. It's there if especially if there's good people, you know what I mean? Like, I know everybody trying to find good people, man.
And that's the thing. Everybody trying to find good people. And good people exist outside the church building.
Talk about it. That's real. They just need to be reached. That's the biggest thing about it, is that those same people just need to continuously be reached. And I think if we, I don't know, I keep saying we, but I mean just really as a people, if we just continue to, I was just talking about this earlier, man, like what we just said earlier, man, lead with love. Love is just the biggest thing, right? You know what I mean? If you can lead with love, man, like, that'll be dope. You really don't subscribe to, I guess, the conventional aspect of religion.
Bro, I had an argument with God, G.
Okay. You got to explain that. You got to explain that. That's permissible,
man.
Okay, what does that mean? What do you mean?
Like, it's allowed.
Okay.
You remember when old girl brother died, and she hollered at Jesus. She sent some people over there. She like, hey, my brother about to be dead. He waited for a few days. Dude was like dead as a doorknob.
Right.
And then Jesus showed up crying.
Right. Right. Jesus wept.
Yeah,
the shortest verse.
The shortest verse of the Bible.
Yeah.
And then she kept it 100 with it. So she hollered at Jesus, and he showed up. He crying, and she kept it 100. She said, "Man, look, if you would have been here, he wouldn't have died."
Right. All right.
Like, that wasn't something that's like it wasn't like, she didn't say that in her little girl voice.
Right. She was.
Like, it was a black chick.
She was assertive, like, hey, yeah.
What's good?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey.
And I feel like it's the same with God. And so when I was leaving the courtroom with that big football number, 16-33 without parole, right? I'm leaving the courtroom with that, and I hear like the voice of God in my heart, bro. And he was like, I'm gonna get you out of prison. You're gonna go back to your hood and be a pastor.
Ooh-wee.
I argue with it.
Yeah.
And I was still raw, like early on.
Yeah.
I'm still a little raw, but I'm leaving the courtroom and I'm fresh. I'm new. Like I'm new to this faith thing. I'm only like 7-8 months in. Okay. And in my head, I'm like, you gonna do that?
Right.
That's what I'm.
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You talking to him? Yeah.
You know, how's it gonna happen? Mm-hmm. I was trying to wrap my mind. And the thing that he was trying to teach me is that when it comes to faith, your mind can never be wrapped around it.
Mm. Wow. The concept of it
is bigger than what you know.
Wow.
And he was really teaching me to trust, because all we've ever really known in communities like ours is trauma.
Absolutely. Trauma responses, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's been generationally handed down, you know.
From generation to generation.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's how do we move towards a area or a time frame of healing? How do we move toward healing? That's the biggest thing, man. How do we get our people towards healing? What do we do? And I think financially, first of all, is being able to provide, or at least start the conversation with being able to use your skill set and develop those things in order to create a viable extra income for yourself and different things like that. Because I know you do a lot with that. Now, let's talk about, because that leads us right into your many, not just having streams of income, but you said you're leading into the pond. Go and explain the pond. Break the pond down. Come on, break the pond down.
One of the things I like that you said, because that typically when you think about church or religion or anything like that, there's automatically a disassociation with like real life. Mm-hmm. It's like it's all spiritual. Mm-hmm. It's like, but put away financial, relational, social, all those parts that make us human, right? We kind of gloss over those things. But in our section, the reality is that our economic situation is a direct result of the transatlantic slave trade. It's a direct correlation between how relations between slave and slave master perpetuated a cycle of trauma that inevitably led to poverty upon poverty and upon poverty, along with systems that help create ghettos, right? And so now there's this economic barrier, and you think of it like this: you know, if you're starting a race, you know, if we're lined up and we're going to do a 4x4, some type of relay race, and I'm right here, right? But my counterparts who don't look like me, their starting point is right here.
Right, absolutely.
So if the gospel that I subscribe to doesn't address that gap, it's no gospel.
Not because gospel is considered truth.
It's true. It's good news. Right. So if what I read in my Bible don't directly address the gap, then I'm following the wrong God.
So then that statement is huge. So then that's to say that there's more than one God up there doing their thing. There's more than one God that's created everything, that did everything, that, you know what I mean? Because I even take parts of the Bible that say, you know, when it said, let us make man in our own. You know, he's us. You know what I'm saying? That's just, to me, that implies. And then it goes from in Genesis where it says God, and then in like another part it said Lord God. Who's Lord? What does he do? Where did he come from? But he had a whole different process. Seems like the stuff he did. So I mean, like, do you subscribe to subscribe to the one true God, and then the Trinity, the, you know, God the Father, Son, Holy Ghost? How do you?
So typically we all make gods out of a lot of things.
Okay. Yeah. True. Right. I'll put them up there. Whatever it is. Sometimes I'll put it up there. You know what I put up there? I put it in the air. I put it right back in heaven where it goes. Yeah. All right, come on.
But a God is anything that takes on the form of, on the receiving end of my worship, my commitment.
Okay. So you like your time wherever you
put time, my talent, or my treasure.
Okay.
All right. So show me a man or woman who lays out what they do with their time, what they do with their talent, and what they do with that treasure, and I'll show you what they worship.
Wow.
And the good thing about God is he's like, I love you enough to not force you to make a choice on who you're going to serve.
Wow.
That's why Joshua had the revelation, as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. Why? Because he knew he had gone through war and his OG dying, Moses, and having to move on to Jericho and all these different cities to conquer and inherit the plans and purposes that God had for him. And yet he went through it. But he came at the end of his life and decided that as for him and his household, that they were going to serve the living God. You know, and that's the process that I think every single one of us have to decide, because he loves us enough to give us a choice.
That's what I love about really life, man. I mean, it's about choices, and the fact that even to say that God himself, or the one true God, or God, how people understand him, is really just gives you the choice of what you want to do, where you want to go, how you want to be, and then to live your life accordingly. Is super dope. So I want to talk about the pond though, man.
So this is what I
we
thought.
We just talking about the pond though, man. We making this pond thing. We talking about the streams. He making streams of income, ponds, oceans, and rivers. I'm just saying, man, we gonna do that like that. Man.
So you know where I got the concept of 7 streams?
Yeah.
King Solomon took some time to write down some axioms and some maxims, right?
Okay.
And one of the things he said was, create 7 or 8 streams of income, because you don't know destruction. You don't know when the destruction is coming. And like thousands and thousands of years ago.
Wow.
So I'm like, he talking about the 7 streams club.
Wow.
Right? Wow. But that was a later aha moment. The aha moment came a couple years ago, bro, when I got to thinking about this mantra that people talk about, like, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day.
Yeah.
Teach him how to fish you.
Feed him for a lifetime.
And I got to thinking, I'm like, there's something wrong with that.
But I mean, but it seems like such a perfect statement.
This is so good, don't it?
Yeah.
But I think there's always more, and I think what they missed is that it's not just about my lifetime. It's about my legacy. And so the thought that popped in my mind was, okay, get a chick to fish dinner from some cool. Cool. All right, cool. Like, teach them how to fish. Okay, go to Metro. Okay, cool.
Cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
But that's not the end. I think the end is, we actually have to show people how to own the pond. This whole idea of ownership. Dr. Dale Gines, I chopped it up with a couple weeks ago, bro. And he was like, man, keep it 100, like, black people are a nation full of renters. And it got me to thinking, and it validated the tension that I feel, that how is it that 8 out of 10 homes in my community is owned by somebody outside the community? How is it that in the first 2 years when somebody launches a business, black people having an extreme amount of failure rate? How is it that in America, God bless black women who are the fastest growing entrepreneurs in America, the gap between women and men are down when it comes to starting businesses? How is it that the next generation, all they know, is, whatever versus business or ownership or really, like it's like the whole generation is missing that thing. So I thought it's all about owning the pond, because my finish line needs to be the starting line for the next generation. And I need to be thinking like the Chinese. Them cats think 200 years in advance. That's how they build dynasties.
True.
Can you imagine if we decided that as a community, bro, that instead of spending less than 2% of my disposable income with another black man, I'd rather go to Amazon. I'd rather go outside of my community to buy something.
But here's what you're saying though. But like the comparison, okay, we're comparing like apples to oranges in my opinion, because we're not even talking about the fact that, black people were either, whether it's black people in Africa or whether it was black people that were already in the United States, as they are now known, prior to, those are the times when the dynasties and stuff like that was built, man. I don't know if the opportunity, as far as the dynasty thing is concerned, as far as that mentality, I think I don't know what has to happen. I don't even have all the answers. I think what you present is great and forward thinking, and I hope that it does exactly what it set out to do. But then I look at today's times and I think about, like, golly, man, like. It's so shitty right now, if I could just say that. Just keep it real, man. Like, shit is just shitty, man. So, like, Yeah, I don't mean to be cussing in front of the preacher, man. But
Man,
you know,
you can't go. Come on, man.
I always put that in there too.
Don't do that,
So look, I got a homie, right? I got a homie too. Look, I got a homie. Let me ask you this, bro, because I got a homie that said like, man, he don't like the word Christian.
Yeah.
I got a homie that said, bro, he don't like when you call him a Christian, bro. Cause something in the Bible that happened in Deuteronomy with the people and they was using it, it's really a derogatory term. That's what my guy threw it as. Now, I'm not asking whether or not that's a justified or that's actual story. What I am gonna say is this. I think that's absolutely atrocious. I was gonna say something crazy. Right? I ain't gonna say nothing crazy. No.
We locked in with JQ.
That shit stupid as hell, man. What the hell that nigga talking about, man? You a damn Christian, man. Damn, man, you a follower of Christ, man.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, though, but seriously,
that's
though,
good.
like, do you subscribe to that same, I guess, thought process, man? You know what I mean? Like,
I understand why people might say, don't call me a Christian. I think maybe what he was referring to was in the book of Acts when they first, the scripture talks, Luke records that it was at Antioch, I believe, where they first called them Christians. And the reason why they called them that, it was like they was jonesing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you a Christian? They're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was derogatory. I understand that, but culturally, that doesn't mean that. Culturally, it means that like we subscribe to following Jesus Christ.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the word Christian is convoluted anyway, but you know, like I think it has so many connotations to it. One person might think it's this, one other person might say it's this.
But I mean, at its core.
At its core, it's a follower of Jesus, bro.
Right, and to subscribe to his teachings, to his philosophies, and all of that, everything that comes with it, I would think.
One doubt. I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I mean, you know, I grew up in the church all day.
Really?
You know what I mean? Daddy was a preacher, mom was a missionary. I still go to church. I still play a little bit and do my thing, you know what I mean? Do my thing, went to Flame Classic, Mr. Fantastic on the drums, doing this thing, you know what I mean? So it's that spiritual connection I think is always there, man. But I mean, just finding a way to give back is in order to change, in order to affect change, finding a way to get to that place that you were talking about, to be able to build these dynasties that you speak of, because I believe that the effect of what men like you are doing now is going to be far. It's going to be long-reaching. This isn't going to be something that you even see the true fruits of. You know what I mean? It's going to be something that you know, your kids, grandkids, kids, and all that type of stuff is going to see. I think about the things that my pops accomplished, and I'm like, okay, what I accomplished, what I can still accomplish. Yeah. It's like, I see the difference. I can think about the whole David and Solomon thing, you know what I mean? Right. Some stuff you won't see in your lifetime, even though you wish for it, even though you hope for it. Straight up. It just wasn't meant for you. But coming to that point when you find out, man, what's meant for you, like, it's dope that you found your purpose, man, that you found, like, where you wanted to be and what really called you, what moved you. It's not just to follow Christ, but to do like him and to give back to the people, to be a part of the program that you have coming up now, man. So let's talk about that real quick. So let's talk about the summit that's coming up.
So we launched the summit, and it's really the outcome of a couple of years ago. We launched a business incubator because I wanted to have a space where we can incubate entrepreneurs who can come out saying, I own my own. So the last 2.5 years, we've done that with an organization called Shift Omaha. And I think we've graduated over 35 entrepreneurs in the last 2.5 years.
Nice.
And I started to think, like, can we go big or go home in terms of how we extend this message of ownership and hope and inspiring people to start something or scale something, and really knowing that, like, we needed a conference or a summit like that was for real FUBU.
Yeah, for sure for us. By us.
You know what I mean? And so we jumped off the porch and we said, man, let's launch the On the Pond Summit. And I'm pumped about it because my hope is that attendees would leave saying, I feel more unified to a larger collective group of people. I feel like I'm I'm energized to help provide collective opportunity by doing business and commerce with other people. And then I got my mindset on legacy. And I feel like if we can accomplish that, not just this year, but every year, I really do imagine it being the premier location for cats in every hood in America to say, man, I'm going to the summit this year.
There it is.
You feel me?
There it is.
And so I'm excited, man. 3 main stage speakers, 14 different breakouts, fireside chat with Dr. Gines, and a few other people we're trying to get there, man. But it's going to be off the chain for real.
Man, that's what's up, man. So you really just, you provide
General
information.
tickets sold out.
See, that's what I thought,
It's
though.
crazy. The general tickets are sold out.
Nice.
There's only preferred and VIP that's available, bro.
Nice.
Yeah.
So look, man. The event's all sold out. By the time this thing come out, man, by the time this episode come out, we gonna already have a recap.
The general session tickets are sold out.
Okay.
But we still do have preferred seating.
There it is.
VIP seating.
All right, so you can still go and you can still get your tickets. You can still go online. Where do they go to get the tickets at?
OnThePondSummit.com.
OnThePondSummit.com. Make sure you go and check it out.
Tap in.
That's the website. That's the everything.
Yeah.
That's where they can go get tapped in all
And
the way.
you and
though.
Flame gonna be doing y'all thing.
Hey man, so yeah, we go great. Yeah, just a little bit. So man, really, we're gonna just be blessing the stage, man, to talk about artist development when it comes to music, man. I said this before that there are many formulas when it comes to this music industry, and being able to tap into your own personal formula based on the music that you like to do or creatively like you like to create, being able to find that niche and then being able to present it correctly into the world, I think is like vital. People sometimes are just going willy-nilly and they don't have any, but being able to provide some information to kind of help round individuals off that really don't have a way to go.
Y'all helped me.
Hey, appreciate it, man.
Like legitly, y'all have helped me. And for a long time, we got my guy in the back, but for a long time, like I kind of put hip hop on the shelf and just kind of chased God or whatnot. But like over the last couple of years, feeling like, man, that was a real passion of mine. And like,
so you had to revisit it.
Being able to come up under the tutelage of cats, man, who have been doing this for a long time. People like Toot and my man Tang and all these different type of cats, man. And it just had me thinking, man, like, I want to revisit that and give expression to that. Like, you know what I mean? If my number one mission in life is to inspire hope in every single person that I meet, and ain't it time to take that off the shelf? And I'm gonna tell you why I put it on the shelf. Or one of the reasons why. Obviously, I went through my prison time stuff, but like when I got out the penitentiary, bro, unfortunately, like I run into cats who I knew. They hear something that I wrote, and it was just like this, how do I explain it? Like superiority.
Okay, sure.
You know, and it made me feel some kind of way, whether it was subjective or not. That's how, and I walked away believing like, like that's yesterday. You know, and one of my friends, man, he really encouraged me. He's like, nah, bro, like if you're an artist, G, like do art. Create art.
There it is.
And I've been having fun. And the cool thing is like I feel like with the artist development piece, like you guys do it naturally. Like it's just who you are. You're like coaches, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm blessed, because I'm like, man, more and more people need to come up under that type of covering. You know, we're because the reason why I rock with y'all, Keep It 100, is like y'all some humble beasts for real. Like y'all humble, and humble ain't like, oh, I think less of myself. It's like,
for sure.
Like no, I'm a beast, but and I'm unapologetic, but I'm humble about it.
Absolutely.
And I think for me, bro, that's one of the reasons why I'm like, we have to have y'all at the summit, man, so that other people can benefit from that.
We appreciate it, man. For real, man. Like I was honored, man. Like I was surprised and honored, like to even be a part of it. And then it was like, nah, no question. Like I gotta include Flame. Like what we do as far as Triune, man, is like, man, like we are one. You know what I mean? And so what we do is we just want to see people get better.
Yeah.
And I think that I've seen that as far as your mission is concerned too. Just seeing people get better.
Yeah.
You know, be better than you were yesterday.
Straight up.
You know, or last week, or last month, or last year. You're gonna have your times when you slip and fall, or when you trip, or when you make a mistake.
Yeah.
But the point is to not just do some stuff that you can't come back from. You know what I mean? You try your best to stay on the straight and narrow as best as possible.
Right.
As best as possible. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
Ain't finna be perfect.
Yeah, at all.
You know what I mean? Like people, you know what I mean? They think they seeking perfection, man. Nah, man, it ain't finna be perfect. But you know, we going for good. We going for greatness. I'm about to say good enough, but no, it ain't even good enough. We going for greatness, man. And I think that's a continuous thing. Like striving for greatness is a like it doesn't stop. There is no stopping process when you're striving for greatness, or when you're striving to be great. And that's what, and I've seen that with you. There is the, again, adding rap, as something else, as another tool, if you will. When I look at what you do, for me, that's another tool for you. You know, I'm a producer, you know, by trade. So a lot of things I come from that angle. And to see that that's something that you put on the shelf and now you've taken it back off the shelf, I think is incredible. That's amazing that you're like, okay, you know what, I can take this and I can revamp this at this age and then make it translatable to something that is that connects with today.
Yeah.
Cause it's a whole vibe.
Yeah, it's a whole
it's a whole vibe. Like I wish I had it queued up. Cause you know,
Please cue it up.
I might have to cue it up, man. Hold on, man.
Please cue. I'm gonna switch battery up.
I be coasting, manage my emotions. Holly in the ring, and I float like a butterfly. Sing like a bee, I can only be me. So give me 50 feet, stop that foul, and I'm Curry at the free throw. I ain't most deep, see I be coasting, manage my emotions. Holly in the ring, I float like a butterfly. Sing like a bee. I got a couple tokens, I call it real gold. I ain't on self-promotion, don't be going through the motion. Swag wet like the ocean, block your head, I'm a golden. Net worth is explosive, devil can't hold me. God said he chose me, that's what his man told me. We be in the Audi posted, get your hood in a moment. Trapping was a hobby, real team was my favorite. Spiritual is my flavor, I made one for mayor. I'm the last of my kind, what you need for a sign. I'm into something bigger than your trapping. These fools Hollywood, they be acting. I do it for the passion. My revenue is passive. My pride in the casket. Jesus is the captain. I'm making big transactions. Bringing peace to the faction. Man, I'm safe, but refrain from distractions. Heavy coasting, manage my emotions. Holly in the ring, I float like a butterfly. Sing like a bee, I can only be me. So give me 50 feet, stop that foul. I'm Curry at the free throw. I ain't most deep, see I be coasting, manage my emotions. Holly in the ring, I float like a butterfly. Sting like a bee. When it was down, they was laughing.
All right. I can't give too much. I can't give too much. Y'all gotta go get it, man. Hey, look, is this available, right? Juneteenth. All right. Let me turn it down. Y'all don't get too much, man. Y'all don't get too much. Go get it. Go stream it. All that good stuff, man. Don't do it for free, man.
Yeah.
Go download it. Get this man his coinage. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so look, man, it's been fun like doing the music with you, man. Like you bring like this different sort of it's almost this old school swing swag, but it's not though, man. You found a way to like revamp that and bring that back to the forefront, man. And like I can't wait to see like where you're headed, like musically, like I'd say you're what, 3 for 3 now?
Yeah, 3 for 3.
I say you're 3 for 3 now, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's a good average.
Yeah.
You know, as a freshman rapper.
Straight up.
You know, do your project. I think you should be proud of yourself, my brother, you know what I mean?
It's been fun.
Yeah. And I think again it's another tool that opens up a whole new generation and genre for you, man, and like that's like dope. I think that to me it sounds like it's helping to fulfill the purpose of when God said you gonna go back to the hood
you know my
and be
biggest
a
market.
pastor.
You know my biggest market?
Huh?
It's crazy. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Like 8-year-olds.
Stop that, but carry with the veto.
I'm so serious. Like 8 to 10-year-olds, bro, they be bumping my stuff. They be like, man, I'm feeling that, Pastor Myron. I'm like, all right, I'm feeling that too. I'm cool.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, man.
That's
like,
dope.
So that means something to me.
That's dope. That's dope. Okay. Look, the demographic don't stop, man. You can be a rapper. This just shows you it don't matter what your age is, man. It don't matter. Hey, man, if you got your demographic right, you understand who you rapping to, who you rapping for, man. And you might just make something. So, look, if you're not where you need to be, revamp where you at.
Come on.
Understand.
That's
maybe it ain't
101.
Come on, 101, man. You got to understand who you are and who you're talking to. You gotta understand those things. Once you understand that, hey man, it's really all down here.
You said something last time I was here. You said it's like you do like statement rapping.
Yeah,
Remember you saying
absolutely,
that?
absolutely.
And it's like it's not gospel. It's not even Christian.
Right.
It's like, I'm making a statement. I feel some kind of way about certain subjects.
Absolutely.
And I want to speak consciously and truthfully about that in a way that people can rock and vibe with.
Man, you got me, man. I think you got me. I think what you do is like amazing. I think it's dope. You bring a different perspective. I think you break the mold, in my opinion. For what, like, I think, like, most people would be like, man, he's a pastor. You know what I mean? They get that initiative. Man, here go the preacher. I got to do this.
I started with my grill in before I came.
You should have. You feel me? Hey, this man he got the full grill, too. I think it's all the way to the back with the bottoms and the tops. He got the triple gold bevels in that bad boy. Hey, he got the dome. His thing chunky, though. His thing chunky with the extra fangs that hang over his lips and stuff. He got the, hey, man, he got hey, but that's dope.
Keep that in.
Hey, but it's dope, man. Like that, you can still have like it's like it's not above you, bro. You know what I mean? Man. And like it reminds me of how my pops used to present it too. Cause like I remember there was one point in time in church where like somebody had a problem with me wearing golds. You know what I mean? Like I had bottles on top, and they used to be like, "Oh, it's a distraction with you being on the organ, you singing, and you know your grill is shining." And da 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 da. Bro, I watched my dad tell that man to his face. He said, "That man, that's my son's mouth jewelry, and I'd rather have him here in this church.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about what's in his mouth. I'm worried about what's in his soul."
Straight up.
That man left that church that day.
Wow, good.
He ain't been back. He ain't been back a lick since.
Right.
Yeah, it ain't nothing though. But like it like speaks volumes to me. Just like, man, look, come as you are, and that you're willing to not just compromise. That's the wrong word. But you're willing to step outside the box.
Yeah.
To be unconventional.
Yeah, man.
Like radical, if you will. You know what I mean? Like that's dope, bro. Like being radical to the man, radical, totally radical, bro.
Radical. I just got back from Hawaii. I surfed.
I saw though. Like what?
For the first time.
What?
I tried to surf for the first time.
Okay. Because I didn't see no clips of the surfing.
Because you didn't need to.
Okay. Okay.
Because I'm gonna tell you, it is the hardest sport. You can put it up against anything. You wanna know why? Because there's never the same wave. There's always a different wave. And the surfer always has to adjust to the wave.
Hey man, you know he was out there writing down messages and preaching. Hey, you know he found a message in that. He was like, he's like, because there ain't the same wave. Come on, talk to me, Jesus. It ain't the same. It's a different wave every time. Come on, Jesus. That's dope.
You know what I mean? And like when I got up there, bro, that wave came and it pounded me, and it did that surfboard did a 360, and it hit me like Tyson did. What's his name? This last guy, Evander, like hit him in his nose. Or bit his ear, one or two. And that surfboard hit me, and it knocked me down, and I was like floating to the bottom. And then I thought about Jay Keys in the podcast.
There it is. Like, gotta make it. I gotta make it. Gotta make it back to the U.S. If I could just make it back to the shore.
I definitely did go to the shore after that. But it was fun, bro. It was
hey, man, that's what's up, man. And so you was out there. I don't know you was out there having fun, but you also, I know you was out there with a wedding and everything. But it also you had a chance to do for the work that you do.
Yeah. So I got a mentor, bro. He like late mid-70s. And he has an organization. He started as a pastor in the 70s, and now as a result of his work, over 2,600 churches around the world. And now he does speaking and consulting. Well, he getting up in age, and he's like, man, I want to I want to start a succession plan. And I want you to take this over. And so I went out there to meet the board and chop it up with them and just spend some time with him and his wife, man. So it was real cool.
Amazing, man. Hey, man, I can say I'm sure like everybody around you is extremely proud of you now, of where you've come from, man. Your story is amazing. And what you do, not just for yourself, but for the people around you, is also incredibly amazing. How you give back and you look to make a difference and you look to make a change. And I think that's the biggest thing about it is looking to make a change and to be something different. What's the Gandhi saying? Be the change
you want to see.
Come on, man. Be the change you want to see. And I think living in that, I think, is incredible. It's an incredible experience to have. And I think it's just super dope, man. And I'm just gonna say it like this, man. We've been chopping up doing our thing, man. I feel like, man, we at that point, man. You got any shout outs, man, you want to give, man, before we get up out of here?
I need to come back.
Come on, man. You know we going.
Shout out to Triumph Beats.
Yeah,
get in the studio, get in the booth, get some artist development. And man, like, just shout out to our people in North Omaha, man. I love my city, man. I go outside of Omaha and I go to the coast or I go overseas and somebody might be like, yo, where you from? And I'd be like, I'm from Omaha. And they'd be like, where's that at?
Yeah.
And then they ask two questions.
That's the conversation.
Almost inevitably, two questions. Is it black people there? And do you live in the cornfield?
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Come on.
And it's like, that's just the furthest thing from reality. But I feel like Omaha is a city that I feel like we can be proud of, especially my section. And I feel like there's a lot of talent and there's a lot of potential.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And just so that's why, man, I rock with y'all. I feel like I can say the same thing, man. It's just about change and helping people get better, man. So shout out to North Omaha, man. Shout out to the On the Pond, some of the attendees, sponsors, and vendors, man. We coming for y'all. It's going to be dope. It's going to be super off the chain.
Yeah, you know how we do it, man. Hey, absolutely, man. Hey, shout out to my sponsor, man. Me. You feel me? Because I'm a sponsor of my damn self. You hear me? We locked in with Keys. It's your boy Jay Keys, man. Shout out to the cameramen, the crew, all the ones we love and we adore, all those good things like that, man. We gonna go ahead and jam and get up out of here, man. I appreciate Myron Pierce, the preacher man, all that good stuff for bringing God and all that good stuff. We in the building. It's your boy Jay Keys. We rock it out, baby. It's your boy Jay Keys. Hey!